This time of year reminds me why I love gardening. There are disappointments every single week, but somehow they never seem to matter for very long. One harvest leads to another sowing. One project leads to the next. And little by little the garden keeps growing into something we could only imagine a year ago. Morning all, it is a fabulous morning. The hot weather has broken last night, I think. I'm keeping my fingers crossed anyway because it feels amazing this morning. And I'm getting out while it's cool and we're going to get this lettuce out. It's getting a little bit frazzled around the edges with the heat now, and these green beans have already got beans on, look. So that really does need to come out to give them a little bit of space. Let's see. Ooh. My friend's popping around shortly and I told her she could have some lettuce if she really wanted it because we seem to have quite a lot of it. And I'm afraid these cucumbers are not improving. I've sprayed them, I've damped down, I've put predators on, and the leaves are just getting worse. We've had 6 cucumbers off. Rather than risk all my tomatoes, I'm going to chop them down today. Goodbye, cucumbers. You were a pain in the bum. Well, that job's done and now it's raining. Of course it is, because, you know, on a nice cool day when you want to get on with the gardening you've been missing for days, it starts to rain. But I'm not going to complain about the rain, to be fair, because it's fabulous. It feels like a nice mist at the moment. I can officially say, I think, that my sweet corn has grown. I was worrying about it, but since it's been in the ground, it has grown at least 6 inches, I would say. One very annoying thing is, I think a couple of weeks ago, I told you I had to go out and buy squash because mine had basically keeled over. This one is the mashed potato squash, and this is supposed to be a green disc patty pan from a garden centre. But as you can see, far from it, it is a courgette. So I've got 3 courgettes and 2 people. I do like the colouring on this leaf though, and it's different to mine, so I am sorely tempted to pull out one of mine. What do you think? Is it worth it, or should I just leave them be? I do need to replace the marigolds in the greenhouse because they have just fried. And another thing that doesn't seem to be very happy is the cardoon. It has been decimated by something. I want to say slugs, but I don't think it is. I might take that out. And in other sad news, the blackbirds pulled out 2 of my chestnut beans. Last night it was a full moon, and according to Charles Dowding, that is the perfect time to be sowing and planting things. But of course it was hotter than the surface of the sun yesterday, so I did message him on Instagram and said, will tomorrow be okay? And he said, yeah, in the morning when it's cool, which it is. I went through my seed tin to see what things I could be sowing, and this is what I found. I have got all of these seeds which either need sowing or could be sown right now. But first I think I'm going to lift my shallots. Right, so I think I'll commandeer this bucket to put the shallots in. The rain is getting slightly heavier. As you can see, they're properly bent over and they are looking quite nice, I think. Now, I've bought the hori knife, but if it's anything like the garlic last week, I might struggle to get them out of the ground. It's quite hard. Oh no, they're coming. That's good. Yeah, really pleased with those. The bucket is full and the rain stopped. Ooh, just been bitten by a blinking horsefly. I think I can safely say that's the biggest shallot harvest I've ever had too. What's next? Actually, what's next is getting these strawberries before the mice or blackbirds see them. We're picking handfuls daily now, so I think we must be almost coming to the end of them. Morning, Bonnie. You're checking out my strawberries, are you? Yeah, they're not for you, sweetie pie. We've had a bit of a drama this week. Both dogs got really poorly. I think it was just the heat. I took Bella to the vet because her back legs went from under her, and I was worried because she's 12 and a half. But the vet said it was basically from doing too many squats, let's say, for an old lady. They are both on the mend, thankfully, and the weather's turned, so fingers crossed they will stay that way. Right, so we've got lettuce, shallots and strawberries so far. I don't think there's anything else that I need to harvest today. I think I can get on with sowing more stuff and planting more stuff. Doug's chores for this weekend are more construction, basically. We were supposed to be building our compost base, but he went to the wood merchant yesterday and he couldn't get what he wanted until next Tuesday. So that's going to be next week's job. And it's very timely because obviously we're harvesting and we're producing quite a lot of waste. At the minute, I am using my municipal bin. So he's going to do something else instead. And it's almost as equally urgent, to be honest. And we've already got the materials for this job. Many moons ago, I got this thornless blackberry, and as you can see, it's starting to head off into the distance. So the plan is to make a long, thin bed in line with these trees here, to put the blackberry in the middle with wires on posts to support it, and then I'll underplant it. We did have a bit of a disaster this week. Stupidly, I put all my brassicas outside under the shade netting, and one very, very determined slug, just one, ate the whole lot. Yeah, disaster. So some things like the kale, I don't think it's too late to sow, but I have to admit, gone online and ordered some plants. I'm going to plant the cauliflowers that have survived. Because the dogs were sick, I just took my eye off the ball and lost the whole lot. And after months of nurturing them, that's really annoying. But anyway, I did salvage some. This is how big they were. Right, let's go and get these cauliflowers in. Doug is just strimming around the beds at the minute. Sorry about the noise. This variety is called Triumphant, and I just need to make sure I don't plant them quite as close together as I did the red cabbages. Right, these need collars to protect them from root fly, and then we'll get the mesh back on to stop the cabbage whites, because there are quite a few around in the garden at the moment. I'll give them a little water and then I'll give them a good soak later on when the sun's gone in. Right, let's get this back on and pin it down without squashing anything, preferably. Right, let's just move the beans out the way. I seem to be squashing them after they've taken so long to actually get growing. And now I've got space on the end here for some more flowers, I think. Actually, I've just remembered I've got a whole bag of gladioli that I haven't planted yet. So I might pop them in the end. I think I could get all of these along this edge here. What do you reckon? Plant them nice and close together. That one's got a shoot on it. That one's got a shoot on it. The wind's getting up. They did say it might be breezy today. Grow, my lovelies, grow. I'm so sorry it took me so long to get you in the ground. Oh dear, how embarrassing. Right, let's get these amaranth in. Beautiful colour, aren't they? I think these grow quite big too, to be honest. It's called Molten Fire. Another thing I have are some seed heads off an Aquilegia. So I'm going to sprinkle those, actually, a couple of them. I'll save the rest if I can. Just take a couple. Tip them out to my hand, and I'm just going to sprinkle them in this bed. I'll just ruffle that in. My first zinnia flower has come out. Now, this may seem a stupid thing to do, but I'm going to pinch that one, and it should, and this one actually, make the others grow bushier. I'll leave that one because it's almost ready to flower. Okay, I am going to do another row of carrots, but first I'm going to put in some more spring onion. I have pre-watered this because it was quite dry. I have got spring onion for that one. We've got carrot sweet candle, autumn king 2 and flyaway F1. I will start with some spring onions. The same as I sowed last time, to be honest, they're guardsmen. Right, let's start with flyaway. I think I'll do 2 rows of those if I've got enough seed left. I better get the names on them before I forget what order I did them in here. At least I can look back on the video if I get it wrong. Okay, that's those in and labelled. Will I cover them? I should probably do an experiment because I haven't covered the others and I've just companion planted in a raised bed. I will just give those another water just to settle them in. Just thought I'd show you the Greek gigantes I sowed last week. I put this net over them simply to stop the blackbirds from pulling them up when they first sprouted. And the lettuces we transplanted in between the pea frame last week have also doubled in size, so they're doing brilliantly well. And all the peas have come up beautifully. Again, they love it warm and wet, so as long as you water them at this time of the year, they come up within a matter of, well, actually this was a day. They germinated in 24 hours, so I was amazed. Sorry, lettuce, you might get a bit of light now. Right, that's much better, and hopefully it'll stop a bit of mildew from overcrowding as well. Some of these are the size of rhubarb leaves, aren't they? As you can see, we have moved the bench round to this side. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do around here. It was my intention originally to put the compost heaps here, but this is beautiful acer and I want it to be pretty rather than functional. But it means we can sit here and look straight down the middle towards the willow tree. I've just noticed that we've got a lovely big beetroot. Look at that. Isn't she gorgeous? Just in the middle of mowing the grass, and as you can see we have the most ginormous thistle. We were going to leave it because they are actually quite pretty, but it's collapsed, so it's getting in my way now, so it is going to be chopped. Right. Oh, there's a blue butterfly. Hello. Gosh, look at that. Okay, that'll let me pass at least. As you can see, Dirk has been fitting the coach bolts to one of the sides and the posts which are going to hold up the wires for the blackberry. Yeah, it's coming on great. How are we? Are we feeling better today? Yeah? Good girl. You're my lovely old girl, aren't you? How's Bonnie doing down there in the shade? Oh, is it exhausting, this sunshine, is it? Right, we've had lunch and now I need to go and find a bucket because I want to make some comfrey tea. Oh, look at all the bean flowers now. It really has just popped into life in the last few days. And Doug tells me that the old bird seed bucket is in the shed, and it also has a lid to keep out the stink. Right, I found it. So we'll give it a bit of a clean because it's absolutely filthy. As you can see, it's already collapsing everywhere. It is flowering its head off, but I think I can afford to cut this back. Now, as luck would have it, there's a brick here. Squash that down. And now we just need to fill it with water. Okay, that will do. We'll just squidge it down a little bit. Make sure there's no air pockets. And put a lid on. And then not open it again until it's turned into disgusting sludge. Sorry, critter. Out you come. And, well, the hose is stretched all the way up here. I really need to water this area where we harvested the shallots because, as you can see, the ground has cracked. And these celeriac really do like water. This part of the garden is no better than the flower border. In fact, it's worse because it is solid clay, and Doug's had to resort to the auger just to break it up a bit so that he can crumble it up and get it out. So it's not a surprise really that this area, one of the wettest parts of the garden, but the frame is ready. It's just waiting for the holes to be finished, and then we can tip it up into the holes, cement it in. And just like that, while I was watering, it's in the ground. It's not concreted, but it's up. That top rail will come off. It's just to keep it square at the minute. I think I already said we're going to put tension wires like we've got on the kitchen garden across to support the blackberry, and we'll plant that somewhere in the middle, obviously with good soil, which is on its way. And then the rest of it is fair game. Strawberries, maybe. Flowers, maybe. As you can see, the woodwork is in. The back posts are concreted in now too, and we're just waiting on the topsoil being delivered. Doug swapped out this board because it was slightly bowed. Bit of a perfectionist, my husband. But there we go. So yeah, we've just got to fill that. I absolutely love this lupin and Ami combination, as are the bugs. They seem to be enjoying it too. And don't these look fabulous? You can't fail to be cheered up when you see something as bright and cheerful as that, can you? Pollinators are loving all of these flowers, so I'm really pleased about that. And with that, there's a hammock somewhere under a willow tree with my name on it. Happy gardening, everyone. See you next week, where we'll be building some compost heaps.